July 1st, 2018, 9:20. AMA High Security Prison south of Paris, one of the most modern and heavily fortified facilities in the country. Hundreds of guards, 16-foot-high walls, barbed wire, reinforced doors. The courtyards are covered with anti-helicopter cables. On all 4 watchtowers, armed officers stand ready with assault rifles. Inside, cell 207, inmate 0011189, waits to be escorted to the visitation room. He is France's most heavily guarded prisoner, involved in over 30 robberies, including hostage situations. During a botched heist on an armored van, a policewoman was killed. Twice he's escaped the authorities on the spot. 5 years ago, armed with a smuggled pistol and explosives, he broke out of another high-security prison. Meanwhile, 30 kilometers away, 65-year-old flight instructor Stefan B. greets 2 new students, a father and son. They say they're fascinated by helicopters and have booked a sightseeing flight. They insist on using Stefan's vintage 1950s Alouette 2, calling it charming. Stefan finds them a little odd, later noting they seem to be wearing wigs, but they pay 500 euros cash, so he brushes it off. Back at the prison, the inmate is transferred to a new guard and taken to the special visitation block, reserved for dangerous offenders. This wing is far from the main entrance. The prison administration is already suspicious of the inmate, his frequent visitors, coded phone calls, and overly friendly demeanor toward guards. Recently, a drone was spotted scouting the facility. Stefan lands the helicopter in a field after the students request a brief pit stop. When they return, they're armed. They reveal that they've been watching Stefan and his family for months, with accomplices stationed outside his home. If he doesn't follow their orders, his family will die. They force Stefan to take off, dictating their destination. In Visitation Room 50, the inmate's older brother waits. He has no idea that his sibling is about to orchestrate one of the most daring prison escapes in French history. Rédoine Faïd, a career criminal. The prisoner is Rédoine Faïd, France's most infamous gangster, best-selling author, film buff, and icon for many French immigrants. But to understand his journey, we have to go back. The beginning, 1978, a suburb near Paris. 6-year-old Redoine, the son of Algerian immigrants, grows up in a small apartment with 8 siblings. His father works in a factory, and his mother cleans houses. The neighborhood is surrounded by affluent suburbs, a stark contrast that fuels resentment. One day, Redoine and his older brother wander into a store they can't afford. They steal a small item, sharing it in the parking lot. Redoine's first theft. When caught a few weeks later, his parents are furious. His father beats him with a belt, and Redoine promises his mother he'll never steal again. But soon, he discovers his love for movies, French crime thrillers, and Hollywood gangster films. By his teens, he's stealing electronics, selling them for cash to fund trips to the cinema. At 18, Redoine stages his first bank robbery. He threatens the cashier with lines borrowed from French crime films. "Do as I say. I'm not here for you, just the money. Think of your kids." The heist mastermind. Inspired by Heat, he orchestrates increasingly audacious robberies, targeting armored vans. During one heist, Redoine and his crew wear hockey masks, imitating the film, but they often stumble, narrowly escaping law enforcement. One robbery leaves behind DNA evidence, leading to his capture. Fast forward to 2018. Stefan B's Alouette 2 is loaded with gas masks, rifles, tear gas, and a saw. The helicopter roars toward the prison, where Redoine chats with his brother, oblivious to the unfolding chaos outside. The facility is equipped with anti-helicopter cables, but the Alouette 2 is small enough to navigate around them. As the helicopter hovers, smoke grenades obscure the courtyard. The sound of a buzz saw pierces the air as the reinforced gates are cut open. Within moments, Redoine emerges, salutes fellow inmates watching from their cells, and climbs aboard. The entire prison erupts in applause as the helicopter takes off. Aftermath, Redoine's escape makes headlines worldwide. He becomes a cult figure, with even a French actress tweeting in his support. But his freedom is short-lived. 3 months later, he's arrested while hiding under a burqa in his hometown. During his trial, Redoine claims his crimes were fueled by an addiction to adrenaline. He's sentenced to 39 years for his heists, involvement in the death of a policewoman, and his 2 escapes. Today, Redoine remains in solitary confinement, undergoing strip searches 5 times daily. He describes his imprisonment as being buried alive. If released in 2060, he'll be 88 years old.